Wednesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. It's about 8:20 a.m. My family is off safely for the day. I have my coffee. I'm very excited to have some time today to work on my crafts. I got a lot of work done on Monday so that I could take yesterday, Tuesday off, because Tuesday was my husband's day off, so that was the day that we could celebrate Valentine's Day together. So I got a ton of stuff done on Monday, including all of the Valentine's Day cards for my daughter's class. I finished up a pocket letter Happy Mail that I've been working on for like a month and just hadn't had a chance to get out. So that was finished and mailed off. My girlfriend had a bunch of boxes that she needed shipped, so I helped her with that on Monday. So I'm down to much less projects than I had going on before, and now I can kind of focus more on my spring crafts and so on and so forth, so I'm pretty excited about that. So today is technically Valentine's Day. I showed you guys the card that I made for my husband and the card that I made for my daughter, which was in a separate video because I forgot to show that off. So my daughter's card, which I made with the Lawn Fawn Shadow Box card die. So my daughter's card slipped safely into her lunchbox so that she'll find it today. My husband's card I slipped into his lunch bag this morning so that he'll get that later today. My daughter did open up her stuffed narwhal that I got from the Etsy shop Muddy Road Couture, which I showed you guys already in another video, and she absolutely loves the little baby narwhal. She brought it to school with her. We were really happy to have my friend babysit my daughter yesterday and into last night so that we could go out and have a nice time together. I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not before, but my daughter, she's 9. She's been having some troubles with a bully in school, another girl in her class, and she doesn't really want us to do anything about it, but I think she had a really bad day yesterday, so she kind of confided in our friend, her babysitter, what was going on yesterday for her with the bully, and we had a chance to talk to Leah about it this morning, and she's pretty sad. So my husband and I are gonna, I think we're gonna go forward with the school trying to get some intervention and some help on it at this point. But we gave her the baby narwhal this morning, and it cheered her up so much. It was so nice to see. And the little stuffy is just the right size to put in her backpack, so she brought the little guy to school with her today for some cuddling. That's sad news aside. We had a nice day yesterday. My husband and I, it was Tuesday, so my husband and I went down south, a couple hours south of us in a city that we used to live in, and had a chance to revisit a former favorite restaurant of ours, a Mexican restaurant, and had tacos for Taco Tuesday. This is the same restaurant where we had like our rehearsal dinner before our wedding and, other anniversary dinners. So it was kind of neat to have a Valentine's Day there. We also did some thrift store looking around and shopping because there's a lot more opportunities down there. And I mentioned in another video that we were considering checking out a Hobby Lobby, which we previously hadn't been to one before. So we did get a chance to check that out, and I did pick up a few things on clearance there, which I will show off. We stopped at Joanns. What did I get at Joanns? I didn't really get much at Joanns. Rod and I each had a coupon, so I couldn't really see anything new or exciting that I wanted, but I did end up grabbing the full-size pad of the VersaFine ink because I've been having such a nice time working with the little one that I picked up just to try it out, that I thought a nice full pad was an order, so I was able to use my 50% coupon on that for when my little cube goes away. I think it'll be nice having the full size as well. And then my husband with his coupon just picked up a package of E6000 in the clear just to have on hand, so nothing super exciting. Let's see what else was going on yesterday. So Hobby Lobby, we also came home to the mail, and I'll show you really quick just so I can get it put away. I won a little contest on my friend Betsy's channel, and I'll link it down below. She was doing a giveaway of these adorable little vacuums, just a tiny little vacuum that she'd been using for her desk to help clean up little spills on her desk. These are just little bristles, and she was doing a giveaway. I think she was giving away a bunch of them, and And I won one of them, so I was super excited, and I had a chance. I put the batteries in it this morning, and I was playing around with it a little bit, and I just wanted to show you guys that, oh my gosh, it works. I'm constantly spilling glitters and embossing powders and so on and so forth on my desk. So I think this will come in really handy instead of doing the old, you know, trying to brush it off or whatnot. So here we go. Woohoo, look at that. It picked up all of the embossing powder that I spilled. So this would be really great. It doesn't have a huge capacity. I've been playing with it for a while this morning. It doesn't have a huge capacity. You just twist the bottom off and dump the filter directly into the trash. I would say every, you know, maybe at the end of every work day or whatever. So really cool. I'm loving it. Thank you, Betsy. This is going to come in so handy with all those little spills that I do. And there's a little space for it on my shelf over here. So I think I'm just going to, it's cute enough that you can just keep it out, I think. And it looks like a decor piece until you need it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you, Betsy. So what else is going on? We also went to a couple of thrift stores and we didn't find anything super awesome. At Savers, I have to get up because there's something that I wanted to show you that I forgot over here. So nothing super awesome at Savers, which tends to be a little bit overpriced anyway. I think we spent probably a good half an hour just walking around looking at stuff, but nothing really spoke to us. Then we went to Goodwill. And I'll show you the thing that I'm most excited about because that was the first thing that I found, but that it's going to take up more space. So I'll wait until after to whip that up. And I think you guys are going to be really excited too. But also at Goodwill for crafty stuff, I found this really sweet little stitched card making kit. And it comes with the floss and ribbons and some accessories and of course the cards. I personally don't have any interest in stitching cards, but I thought this would make a nice thing to pass on to a crafting buddy. And this was only $1. So really cool. Really cool find. I'll slip that into a Happy Mail. Hopefully somebody can enjoy it. Also at Goodwill, I found these two really old boxes of We Are Memory Keepers ephemera pieces, like really thick cardstock tags and ephemera pieces, and I think they're really old anyway. Really thick, good quality. I thought that these would be really nice for a couple of vintage-like projects that I'm going to be working on soon. I'm getting there. But these were only $1 a box for these die cuts, and they didn't have a date on them or anything. I'm pretty sure that they're old, or maybe they were meant to look vintage, or they are vintage, or a combination of both, but I thought that they looked vintagey enough to work well for my project. So these are what I picked up. They have an old Marshall's tag on them, and I got them for $1 a piece. And okay, so here's the big thing that we got at Goodwill, and I saw it from a distance, and I was like, no, and I walked a little bit closer, and as I got closer, I was like, would that work? Would it work? Would it work? So it's really huge. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it all on the camera. I found this large wooden hanging thing, and I can't even adjust the camera. It's got screws on the top, I don't know if you can see, to mount it into the wall, which we haven't done yet, but I'm sure you all are thinking exactly what I'm thinking. That looks like it could almost fit ink pads, right? And we took a chance. I think it was only like $4, and we thought, you know what, if it doesn't fit, because I didn't happen to have any ink pads on me at the time, if it doesn't fit my ink pads, then we'll just redonate it. It's just a couple of bucks, whatever. But if it does work, this is a huge thing. So I got home, and immediately my first instinct was to pull out some ink pads to see if it would fit. Look at that. Ink pads fit in there just beautifully. Even the Distress Oxides will fit in here. Holy moly, right guys? For $4, real ink pad storage solutions are so expensive. They're like you know, $40 to $60 for something that will just hold a dozen ink pads. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh my god. This one will fit 200 ink pads. I do not have 200, but this is huge. The only thing that I was a little bit nervous about was these slats. I'm pretty sure that this, I don't know what this was for, maybe to hold cassette tapes or something. I'm pretty sure that that it was not made to hold ink pads, but if you look, these slats that are in here do not go all the way to the back. They're only about an inch thick in the front. So I was at first afraid that the ink pads would just, you'd slip them in and they'd fall down the back, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They seem to slide in here really nicely. I am super excited about this. I have just like, my ink just takes over everything in a drawer that could go to other uses, and I don't like having to store my inks like this. I don't like having to store them vertical because I think that it affects the pad, the way that the ink gets distributed in the pad, and it makes for poor stamping. So I just never had any other solution, and was not about paying, you know, an absolute fortune for actual ink pad solutions. So I was so excited to find this at $4. My husband's going to see what he can do about mounting it to the wall, or finding some other way to get it up over my desk, and I can empty stuff out of that drawer and finally put that drawer to good use and get the ink pads up and stored the way that they are supposed to be stored. So really, really excited. Every time we go into a thrift store or whatever, I'm looking for some kind of storage solution, and I was just, oh my goodness, I was so shocked to see this, and I'm so happy that we took a chance and that it would work. Okay, so that's the big thing that we got from Goodwill. I think we only spent like, I don't know, less than $10 at Goodwill. We happened to have a bunch of change left in the car from when we had to go to the laundromat when our washer pipes were frozen. If you guys remember last month, because it was so cold. So it was just really neat how it worked. It was almost like it was meant to be, like we had exactly as much change that we were just trying to use up, because, you know, I don't like having it in my car just jingling around every time you turn a corner or whatnot. So really it was one of those, it was meant to be kind of days yesterday. And yeah, it's like I was meant to find that. And according to the tag, I already took the tag off and threw it away. On that, it was just put out that day. So somebody would have swooped in and taken it. Okay, on to Hobby Lobby. We'd never been to Hobby Lobby before. They had kind of a bare, kind of almost picked clean wall of clearance stuff, but they also had a lot of clearance stuff on the shelves in the paper crafting department. My first impressions, and of course Rod was with me, were that Hobby Lobby is huge. I had no idea. And it, like, when they say hobby, they mean hobby, like everything. They even had like model kits and so on and so forth. So it was really quite a huge place and quite an experience. Their regular prices on things I did not find were very reasonable. Like their packs of cardstock were $8.99 normal. That's just, it's way too much. So I probably stick to my Michaels for most stuff. It's rumored that they are building a Hobby Lobby or not building, but they're putting in a Hobby Lobby semi close to us, using a store that was an old Kmart in a plaza. So we'll see if that happens. But this particular one that we went to is absolutely huge. I remember that Kmart that used to be there, and it was not that big. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a small Hobby Lobby or what's going on with that. I have no idea, but we just wanted to check and see what it was going to be all about. So one of the things that I grabbed that was on the regular shelf amongst the wood stamps is just this recipe card wood stamp, which I thought would be really handy, because I'm going to be doing a lot of recipe card stuff coming up. Also on clearance for, I'm sorry, I don't know if I mentioned that was $2.50 for that large stamp made by Stampabilities, which I think is their house brand. I'm not sure. Let's see. Webster's Pages, a New Day 24-piece paper pad, $1.75. Just, I liked the pineapples, and I really like that flower. I know what you're thinking exactly. This woman does not need any more paper. She has so much paper, but I can never resist a clearance sale. This one, an Echo Park paper pad called Summer Fun. Really cute, also clearance for $1.50 for an Echo Park paper pad. Craziness, right? Oops. Knocking stuff over here. I'm making a mess. I thought this was really cute. Look at that. It's so pretty. Just some bright prints. And obviously it's not, you know, a brand new item if it's on clearance. But with summer around the corner, I thought it was really cute. Actually, I think my husband found that one. He's a really good shopper, guys. You just kind of, by nature, he's just really cheap. So he gravitates towards clearance anything wherever we go. Anyway, and he just like will bring me stuff like a proud little puppy. Like, look what I found, honey. They had a lot of washi tape on clearance for like $1, $1.25. I don't really use a lot of it, so I don't know why I keep collecting it. I don't think that I'm a washi addict, but I mean, I do like it. We have this just little popsicles, and I think that's just sprinkled frosting. $1.25 for this set of 2. I figured if anything, they would make nice little things to just slip into Happy Meals. 2 packs of this. They were $3.75 a piece. The Paper Studio Bejeweled collections. These were just some stripes and checks and polka dots. Just some basics, and I don't have a lot of these basics left. I did get, I'm trying to think of what it's called, whatever the brand is that they have at Walmart for their cardstock. I actually had picked up a couple of their 8.5 by 11 paper packs that were very much like this, just checks and stripes and dots, and I don't have much left. So I instead of going back to Walmart, you know, I'm paying $5. I figured for $3.75 while we were there. Actually, these were a find for my husband. I would use these. They work really well, especially I like to make a lot of like picnic themed cards in the summer. So I like these gingham, sort of these gingham check to use as like tablecloths and stuff. And let's see, not much else in this bag. We did spend a lot of time. Oh goodness, I didn't even remember this. I did get a second thing of washi tape. Just has kitties on it. We've got like hipster kitties and then one that says meow. I completely forgot about that. My bad. Anyway, so we did spend a lot of time just going through the store because we were mostly curious, but I don't really need any supplies or anything, so unless it was something that was on clearance at such a good price we couldn't turn it down. I wasn't really shopping. We were just kind of walking around waiting for our restaurant table. A couple of a couple of pieces of foam, gray foam, 25 cents a piece. I figured I'd cut it up, put it back behind cards. Nobody will care that it's gray because they're not going to be able to see it anyway. 25 cents a piece. You can't beat that. I grabbed this little package. They say they're called Loom Charms for 28 cents. I saw these little bicycles and I was thinking they would make fun little embellishments to put on ribbon. So that's what I saw. They actually had a bunch of these, but I just grabbed one. I liked the colors. I thought the colors were neat. 28 cents. And last thing, I grabbed this 24 pack of glassine paper for $2.50 by We Are Memory Keepers, regular price $9.99. Just some different colors of ombre glassine paper for various projects. I actually don't have any glassine paper, so that's how I justify that purchase. So again, just keeping it cheap. It was a nice store. It was well kept and definitely a nice experience, and I enjoyed experiencing it and adventuring around the store with my husband, who's a lot of fun to shop with. He kind of is one of those people that notices really silly little things that generally goes over everybody else's radar, so it's a lot of fun having be like, hey, you know, check this out, and definitely my partner in crime. So we had a lot of fun. We had a nice meal yesterday, and we actually, for the first time in like months, had some free time to go Pokemon hunting with our Pokemon Go apps and found a bunch of new Pokemon and explored, and we found this really cool cemetery in the city where we used to live that we didn't even know existed, and it was just a couple of blocks away from our old apartment. And it's this huge cemetery, and within the cemetery several of the mausoleums were Pokestops. So that was really cool. I had wished that Pokemon Go was around, you know, 15 years ago when we lived there, because it would have been so much fun to take our daily walk. I love cemeteries, by the way. I don't mean to sound gross or macabre, but especially the older ones, I find them really peaceful. And I'm a reader and a story lover, so I look at the old headstones and the way that the cemeteries are set up, and they all just speak stories to me as I'm looking at them. So I'm really comfortable in old cemeteries, so I feel like that would have been a really nice place to take walks and look for Pokemon and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. And because it's a more southern part of the state, there's not nearly as much snow or cold or whatever. So that sort of thing, exploring a cemetery and looking for Pokestops now, like here, absolutely not. But it was such an amazing experience. I recalled when the Pokemon Go app came out, I think it was not last summer, but the summer before, they were talking about how they weren't going to have cemeteries and stuff be Pokestops. And I thought, you know, that's a really good idea, because not everybody is respectful. And, you know, they might come in and just not treat things with care and just come in and do what they want. I did not see any evidence of any kind of abuse. In fact, there was nobody else in the cemetery yesterday. Any evidence of the cemetery being mistreated because it happened to have several mausoleums within it, which, by the way, are gorgeous and really interesting looking. I should have thought to take pictures, but I didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't see any evidence that anything within the cemetery had been mistreated because of that. And I too was a little skeptical of going in there to play Pokemon Go, but it's a really lovely space and it is a really beautiful walk. And we didn't clock it, you know, in terms of, you know, the footage or mileage or whatever, but there were many very nice paved paths through the hills, and this is a huge cemetery. It was just really nice, and we had a blast. So that was just one of the places where we did our Pokemon Go, and we stopped a couple other places and gyms and won a raid battle and caught a bunch of stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And that's one of the dork things that he and I love to do, and we rarely have time to do that anyway, much less together. So it was just really nice. So we did a nice time. Valentine's Day is technically today, but he's back to work. And yeah, so am I. So anyway, so that was my day yesterday. I don't have too much going on for the rest of the week that's worth showing off. I'm just going to be working on my projects and so on and so forth, and getting caught up in laundry, but I'll be sure to check in when I have some completed projects to show off. I do want to get this stuff put away because it makes me anxious having it out. I'm also waiting to hear back from my daughter's teacher this morning to see how we're going to proceed about this bully situation. So I don't know. But anyway, so that's what I got. I hope that you are going to have a wonderful Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or whatever you choose to celebrate or not celebrate. That's perfectly fine too. I think it's all great. That is what I have. You guys take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.